Now then folks, the aim of this project, Project X I'm calling it, is to see if we can't up the mid-range torque and the peak, but lift it all up so that a small saw, say 50 to 60 cc saw, can produce as much torque as the big saws, 1100s, 120s and what have you. Can be done. And see if we can get it to pull the 404 chain. That'd be something, wouldn't it? 120 Mark II on a 404 chain, and no stopping, no bogging down, no slowing down, just through. So what I'm going to do is I've measured the depth of this, where the squish band is. And I've forgotten where it is now because I've moved it. It's there, so we need to cut the. We need to take the top hat off the cylinder with a hacksaw, so as we can get into the uppers, which the uppers actually are the main stumbling block, not stumbling block, but they're the ones that are stopping really a good cylinder fill, and they're so awkward to get into, long and narrow, and that shape needs to be changed. It can be done because I've done it. I once worked on a Ferrari, a vintage Ferrari. It was worth a lot of money, and the head and barrel were in one composite piece, so you had to get into it from inside the barrel and get into the short turns on the inlet. Don't think because it's a 2-stroke and there's a 4-stroke that it's any different. The passages in metal that move the vortex from one position to another. Actually, you win with the 2-stroke because there's no valves. You've got no. When we're doing 4 strokes, you've got valves in the way that aren't fully open all the time. Whereas with the 2-stroke, admittedly, it's got to pass from top to the bottom of the window, but there's nothing in the way, so we should gain on that. So when I've knocked the top off, we'll have a look inside. Well, we know what's in there, and I'll well, as it progresses. But I need to know that there's some interest in this project, because if you want me to show you all and everything that I know, it'd be nice to get my subscribers up to 1,000, and then we can start getting a bit of funding towards it. Not asking you, just asking you to click the button. So I'll go and get the hacksaw and we'll start cutting. I don't know how long this will take, so I'll just keep knocking it off and on. I once cut a whole Sierra Cosworth turbo cylinder head in half through the port, just because I could see where the water jackets were. It took us 4 days with a hacksaw. See where we're at? Oh, we're getting there. It's not very thick on there once you get through the starter layer sort of thing. Don't pull it too tight, it won't pass. When we've got the lid off this, we can get it on the flow bench and test exactly what is going through the inlet, going out the exhaust, and going up the transition windows to make the charge. We're nearly. I thought we were off there. Put that on. Going through the bench. It's nearly there, I've closed it up. This could be a bit awkward to put the camera off because it's going to shake the thing up. Change the position. Tooling's changed. Here we go. Got a bit of a step, but you're saying if we ever want the usual thing, battery went on us. Right, of course, if you're going to attempt this, you shouldn't. Oh, look at those! You could. Oh man, I see the. Yeah. Anyway, wear the mask. Aluminium dust, they reckon it gives you Alzheimer's disease. I'm living proof that it certainly does something to your brain. Oh, man. See, here's your squish area. You can't, you don't really, I don't think you want to really be taking anything out of there, because what you'd want to do is close it down, which would entail just putting a thinner gasket on the base. And this little land here, when the piston comes up to it, it just squishes it and shoots it, you know, down into the middle. I'm sure you'll get the drift of that, and squeezes it into a central point. Squish, and at the same time agitates it and whatever, you know. Squashes it, I suppose. Squish. I don't think I'm trying to tell you to cut your top off your cylinder to get into your uppers. Oh man, hey, I'm reinvigorated. It's 10 years since I put my die grinder down. I never thought I'd lift it up again when I retired. As you can see, these uppers in there, there's a certain bit of shaping I can see that we could do in there to stop the vortex fragmenting. Instead of getting squashed up, we want it to make it to accelerate itself upwards and out of the top of the uppers. It's got the wrong shape entirely in as much as the bottom, the input of the uppers is bigger than the output there. It really should have been the other way round, so that when the vortex goes in it can expand, but as it is it can't, so you're just left with what it can make. But we'll put this on the bench, we'll make up an adapter, we'll block off these holes, the inlet and the exhaust. They're easy to do, they're easy, piece of what's it is, the inlet and the exhaust. I mean, 5 minutes you could polish them up and say, there you are, that's done the trick. It's no good if you can't move the charge from the bottom when the piston's coming down and squeezing it to go up through the uppers and fill the combustion, well, the top of the piston cylinder, which has just been evacuated by the exhaust port. It's actually doing two things at once, the two-stroke. Firing the charge and getting the next charge ready as it's doing it. Right, that's the first stage. Like and subscribe, because I'm only going to do short ones. I don't want to bore you, and I'm not putting it on for the few that really want to know. I've got to get something out of it, folks. I spent 25 years on it. But then again, a lot of people won't even bother looking because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see.